Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're stopping right here for the first time and you're seeing me for the first time, I'm Akemini. Welcome back to my channel. If please go through my old videos to know if you really like my content and like my personality. If you do, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like my videos, share it with your family and friends. I'm going to be forever grateful to you for doing so. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about something extremely juicy. You know, most people like amebo, and I'm sure most people like amebo, so that's why I'm bringing up this kind of amebo gist. So we are going to be talking about my long distance relationship rather. So I'm in a long distance relationship with this guy that I met. We met sometimes in 2020. Okay, this is going to be our second year together, and to be honest, it has really been amazing. It has really been everything I have always wished for in a relationship. So we met in church and we started talking, and I invited him over to my birthday, one of my birthdays that I celebrated like that, and he came. And after that we started talking, and then he asked me out and I agreed and stuff and that is actually how we started dating. It was very easy. I mean, we met in a godly place and it was so nice. So after when we met, we're living together in the same city, but after some times he had something very important he wanted to do, which actually took him out from where we're staying at that time, and since then he has been there, and very soon he's actually going to be rounding off with what he went to do. So for these past years we've been apart. It has been really nice. I mean, there are disadvantages of being in a long-term relationship, and there are also advantages of being in a long-term relationship. But for me, the advantages I feel, or the advantage I am experiencing, is actually more than disadvantage. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys how I've coped and how I think you can cope if you are in a long-term relationship, or you are thinking of actually hopping into a long-term relationship. Firstly, I don't think distance should be a barrier to one's love. It's not distance that break people together. I think it's just lack of communication. I've seen that somewhere. People have been saying, I mean, from researches and all of that stuff, it has been clear that distance cannot actually break people. It is just their mode of communication that can break them. One thing I try to do that makes my relationship work, and I know that if you do it, you can actually make that your long-term relationship work, is know the time frame the person is going to be staying. I am still stuck in this long relationship because I know that by this time of the year, or by this hour, I should be expecting him back. If it was something that I don't even know when it's going to come back, I don't even have any idea, it's just like, oh, let me go and look for greener pasture. When I hammer, I'll come back. That's a very it's an unforeseen situation. We don't even know when you're going to come back. Okay, what if you go there and then you get married or you go there and then you see greener pasture and then you just want to change your plans? That's like, you don't even know, you're not certain about anything. That's just what I'm trying to say. So if you must be in a long-term relationship with someone, it is best for you to know when they are going to come back. Like, let there be a limit for why the person is away. I don't know if that's making sense, but it's making a very, very big sense in my own head. What I'm just trying to say is that if you know that this person is going to be coming back by next 4 years June, you will be having this kind of assurance that, oh, in the next 4 years I'm going to see him. It is like, compared to somebody that doesn't know when this person is going to come back, I mean, you can see. So knowing when the person is going to come back can actually put you in the edge of you preparing yourself while you wait for your dream partner to come back. So that's one thing that keeps me strong. I know when it's going to come back. I know what he's doing at every point in time. So it's just for the time being, which is so fine. You can also testify with me that daily, like, if you're in a relationship with somebody that you are seeing often, it's very, very stressful. I mean, you won't have time to focus on your career. That is, if you are already a distracted person, you won't have time to balance your career and your relationship, and then you'll be mixing everything together. That is for some people that actually don't know how to plan. But for me, I feel like that's just by the way. Anyways, so another thing I do that works for me, and I know if you do it, it's work for you, is the fact that you should make sure you stay committed to this person just the same way you would do if he were to be around. There is every possibility that you are 100% committed to a person when they are around, like when they are physical, when you are seeing them present, but then when they get out of sight, they also get out of mind. Although you have them at the back of your mind that you have somebody, but because they're not there, you're not really feeling their impact. So you just feel like, oh, they are there, they're doing something else. Why can't I also do something else now that I'm here? That's a very, very bad notion to just give yourself. If you want your relationship to work, you must be as committed as you would be if you were to be around. Don't, as a girl, you should not accept dates from other people. I know girls have these things with I know my own partner is actually going to be looking at this video and is going to be like, but whatsoever. So as ladies, I know we are all tempted to be like, okay, my boyfriend is not around and this person is asking me out, and let me just use him and pass away time. Let me just eat this one's money. I know, me and my mind, we know that is that other one that I like. I know there is every time, there is every temptation, there is every time we feel like we should do that, but you shouldn't always actually want to do that. Bear it at the back of your mind that you won't be happy if that other person was to be around. Like, you won't be happy if that other person were to do the same thing as you. Like, if he was doing the same thing that you want to do, you won't be happy. And then what if you start up this thing with this other person that is asking you out? Your own intention is just, you just want to catch cruise, you just want to eat his money and dump him. You really don't have any future with him. This is the person you want. You're like, this is the real person, that kind of thing. What if this your present person now break the plans you have with the other person? What if the other person, your main person, is not the kind of person that can cope with all these kind of things? So these are the things you can think of, and these are the things that can actually make you know that this is not what you really want. So for me, I tried to, at the initial stage where I wasn't really committed to this, my present partner, like my long-term partner, I saw many things that are not supposed to be good as very good. Like, I saw many things as normal. I saw many ugly things as normal, if I should use that word. So when I realized it, or when I started paying more attention to him, and when I started being more committed and being really convinced that this is really what I want, I started bullshitting all of those things. So I started realizing that yes, these things can actually yield something. Like, if a guy asks me out, and or if a guy say, okay, come, let's hang out and eat shawarma, it's good to eat shawarma, but is that really going to be, is that really worth it? Is that really what I would do if he were to be around? It solves it all. When I ask myself those questions, I'm just like, okay, don't worry, I'm fine about the shawarma. Next time, or next you can ask somebody else. I'm not interested. So that is just that's how I keep myself motivated in my long distance relationship. So another thing you should do if you're in a long distance relationship is that you should always try to maintain and build your partner's trust. Remember, they are in a very far place. If they hear lies, or if they perceive lies, if they call you more than twice and you're not picking up, there is every possibility, there's every tendency for them to start thinking otherwise, especially if they are very, very jealous. If they are very, very jealous, when they call you once and you're not even picking their call, it's be like, where were you? What were you doing? You're not even picking my calls, and then all those kind of questions. So always do things that helps maintain the trust they have for you. Remember, trust is like a cup. According to scholars, trust is like a glass cup. Trust is like a tumbler. When it is broken, it can never be mended, no matter how much you try to make it work. So that is just it. When you are in a long distance relationship, the trust level is much more than for a present, like for the physical relationship. If you were to be in a relationship with somebody that you see every day, it's very easy for the person to know that, okay, this girl is not cheating, because the person always know your whereabouts, and the person always know what you are up to and where you are off to and stuff. But when you are in a long distance relationship, there is every possibility, every tendency that the person might actually doubt you one or two times. So you need to try to meet up to the standard, try to prove him wrong at all times, try to let him know where you are going to, at what time should you be home, at what time should you go to church. Just try to set standards for the relationship that you people are having, so that everything is just going to be on a normal ground. And also, another thing I do that helps my relationship grow is that I don't visit places that I am not supposed. I don't visit places that are supposed to scare him. If you want your relationship to work and you know this person is not even close, you don't have to visit places. You don't have to visit places that will put him on the spot. For example, I can't tell him that I want to go to the club. It's already like in his head. Like if it were me and you're telling me you want to go to the club and I'm like, he's telling me, so I am not there and you want to go to the club, it's like sounding very odd. Or I tell you that I want to go and see one of my male friends that I have not seen for a very long time, it's odd. So you don't visit places that you know that is not going to be very comfortable with. Just the same way you're not going to be comfortable with those places if he tells you that he wants to go and visit those places. Don't also tell him you want to go and visit those places. I don't mean you shouldn't tell him then you go ahead to do it. Don't tell him, don't do it. If you must hang out with a friend that is of the opposite sex, then let it be in a gathering. Like, you shouldn't even go alone. I mean, except, I don't know, I don't even know why you should even keep male friends. For some girls that they say that, oh, I like keeping male friends or stuff, that's your problem. But if you should keep male friends, make sure your partner knows about your male friends, and make sure you people are not seen in a private place, in a private environment. Make sure you people are seen in an open environment, so that your partner is also going to be at peace, knowing that, okay, these people are just in the amusement park. And even though you have this kind of friend, you shouldn't be seeing yourself too often, because that creates room for suspicions. Suspicions. That makes him suspicious over your acts. I, for one, if I am your girlfriend, if you want to make me your girlfriend and you claim you have other girlfriends, like, not like girlfriends, you claim you have other girls that are your friends, I don't know, but I feel you should break everybody up. They don't need to. I don't want to hear the stories. I don't like it. I don't know what your opinions are, but I don't just like all those, is my girlfriend, we are just friends, blah, blah, blah. I don't like them, so I won't keep them too. I mean, if I were keeping them and you say I shouldn't keep them, I'm not going to keep them. So that's just it. Let's just move on to the next one. So the next thing I always do to make sure my relationship works is that I always try to resolve issues we have. You know, it's very difficult for you to resolve issues when you are not near. Like, when you are near, you can easily say I'm sorry, and your facial expression is actually going to tell this person that, oh, you're really sorry, and they might forget and forgive you about what you've done. But if you're far away, you need extra pleading, because this person is not seeing your reaction, so he doesn't even know if you're sorry or not. You have to plead and plead and plead and plead and plead. If it means pleading, just plead. So I try to make sure I resolve all issues as quickly as possible. And also, we try to communicate very, very effectively. So if you're in a long distance relationship, you must make sure you like to communicate with your partner, because communication is one way people can get to bond and get to, I don't know, get to fill out the gap that you people are missing out in, if that makes sense. So, you know, if people are close, people can be going out and, you know, going on dates and all of those stuff. But when you are not close, it becomes extremely difficult, it becomes challenging, it becomes stressful, it becomes emotionally draining too, especially when you see people around you, you know, enjoying themselves. So try to make calls, close the gaps with calls, with text messages, with video calls. Thank God for the internet. Things have been made easy for us. We don't really have to stress ourselves to to make calls. The as expensive as data, it is also very cheap, so you can actually spoil yourself with video calls and phone calls and text messages, and everything is actually going to be very fine. And then last thing I have on my list that I think makes it works for me is that we look for new ways to make us love each other very much. So when you wake up every day, always pray for love, pray for more love, pray for greater love. I don't know, every day I see new things that make me want to stick with this person, and I see I give myself reasons why I want to stay with him. I tell myself that if you stay with him, you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to be this, you're going to be this. It gives me encouraged, it keeps me glued to him, it keeps the relationship moving next. That is just it. It keeps the relationship moving, and it keeps the relationship being green and fresh. And I tell myself that if I don't stay with him again, how am I going to do this one? How am I going to do this? And it might not be real, it might be fake, but then that's just my own motivation, and I feel like it's just so good. I wake up every day and I find one or two reasons to actually love him. It's so weird, but that's the truth. So guys, that's basically all I have today for this video. If you have any other solution or any other suggestions about how you think long-term relationship can work, please drop them down on the comment section so that we get to learn from your own points of view too. If you also think that what one or two things that I've said is not actually supposed to be said, please drop them down in the comment section, and I'm going to see you in another of my video. Be sure to stay beautiful, and bye bye.